Madam Speaker, 2014 started out the exact way President Obama wanted. Over $2 trillion of more debt piled upon our kids and grandkids. President Obama is very different than Senator Obama. These are his words, the Senator's words, on the Senate floor, March 16th of 2006. Quote, "The fact that we are here today to debate raising America's debt limit is a sign of leadership failure. It's a sign that the U.S. government can't pay its own bills. It's a sign that we now depend on ongoing financial assistance from foreign countries to finance our government's reckless fiscal policies. Over the past 5 years, our federal debt has increased by $3.5 trillion to $8.6 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That is money we borrowed from the Social Security Trust Fund, borrowed from China and Japan, borrowed from American taxpayers. Numbers at large are sometimes hard to understand. Some people may wonder why they matter. Here's why. This year, the federal government will spend $220 billion on interest." End quote. Senator Obama later explained, quote, "That is more money to pay interest on our debt this year than we will spend on education, homeland security, transportation, and veterans benefits combined." End quote. After talking about Hurricane Katrina, Senator Obama shifted to the debt tax. Quote, "And the cost of our debt is one of the fastest growing expenses in the federal budget. This rising debt is a hidden domestic enemy, robbing our cities and states of critical investments in infrastructure like bridges, ports, and levees, robbing our families and our children of critical investments in education and healthcare reform, robbing our seniors of the retirement and health security they have counted on. Every dollar we pay in interest is a dollar that is not going to the investment in America's priorities. Instead, interest payments are a significant tax on all Americans, a debt tax that Washington doesn't want to talk about." End quote. Senator Obama finally brought up our debt to unfriendly nations. Quote, "Now, there is nothing wrong with borrowing from foreign countries, but we must remember that the more we depend upon foreign nations to lend us money, the more our economic security is tied to the whims of foreign leaders whose interests might not be aligned with ours. Increasing America's debt weakens us domestically and internationally. Leadership means the buck stops here. Instead, Washington is shifting the burden of bad choices today on the backs of our children and grandchildren. America has a debt problem and a failure of leadership. Americans deserve better. I therefore intend to oppose the effort to increase America's debt limit." Unquote. Today, America's debt is over $18 trillion with a T. Clearly, President Obama has forgotten Senator Obama's words. But the American people remember. And on their behalf, ask President Obama to decrease our debt by working with Congress to end the debt tax by growing our economy and shipping American natural gas to friendly countries like Ukraine, like India, like Japan, like South Korea. I yield back.